Well, hello, friends and neighbors, and welcome to the Bob and Barry Live preview show for Monday, February 14th, 2022. Say hello to my sidekick over here, Mr. Barry Cummins.
Hey, everybody. Welcome from the Northwest Alabama, North Pole coming at you today. Glad to see you. How you doing, Bob?
You know what? I'm doing pretty good. We've had a series of cold fronts that's come across the nation. Everybody's experienced it from ice to snow. Now the sun is out, and the tree pollen has gone crazy. And I'm allergic to juniper and cedar, and it seems to be like off the top of the charts. My eyes are all swollen and itchy, but other than that, I'm fantastic. Say hello to our folks watching out there: Melissa Lynn, Scott Parker, Scott Martin Kovich, Ron McLam. Hello, everyone. How are we?
Hey, glad to have y'all with us this afternoon. Hey, what y'all think about that Super Bowl? Pretty super football there.
That was some good ball. It looked like Cincinnati had it all the way down to that last drive, and I got to tell you, man, the Rams came out and two people took that game. Three people had to be credited for it. But I tell you, man, it was a fantastic game. I don't know which side, you fell on. A lot of folks wanted to see Cincinnati go in as the champs because they have been in such a drought forever. And LA, kind of had that home field advantage, even though it wasn't supposed to be. Good game, though.
I got to watch my two Alabama beasts. It was Alabama on Alabama yesterday as a left tackle for the Bengals, Jonah Williams, versus A'Shawn Robinson, the defensive tackle for the Rams. And A'Shawn probably won that battle.
That was a battle, that's for sure, all day long from start to finish. I had posted over on my profile page on Facebook about 8 of the 16 players on both teams combined were from North Texas. 16 from Texas, played high school ball in Texas, and 8 of them was here from the DFW Metroplex. And, of course, the winning Super Bowl quarterback from Highland Park. So, you kind of got to feel good for him because 12 years in Detroit, he didn't have a lot of talent around him. That team, had some shining moments, but never came up, big. And for him to be able to be traded out to the West Coast and get with LA, new stadium, rebuilding team. They went out, you got to give credit to LA. They went out and bought some big time stars and brought them in, and it paid off big time.
Sure did. Hey, want to wish all the couples out there happy Valentine's Day. And I want to say something too, single person, just because you're single and don't have anybody, do not ever think of yourself than less than, because God has a plan for each of us.
That's very true. And, everybody can celebrate Valentine's. You don't have to be a couple to do it. Just enjoy the fact that, it's early in the year. And like you say, God has a plan for everyone. So
that's right.
Enjoy the holiday.
I know a lot of single people struggles with it. And just don't ever think of yourself less than, because God does have a plan.
That is so true. So true. All right. Well, let's move on to next topic. Tomorrow night's Tuesday Night Live shows. Guest. Want to tell them about them, Barry?
Yeah, we got none other than Hire Santa's Mitch Allen. He's a friend of the show. He's been with us several times during our first season, even hosted the show before. And glad to have him back. We're going to find out the good, the bad, and the ugly from 2021, and maybe forecast some on what's going to be upcoming this season in 2022.
Yeah, that's right. We've got a whole host of topics to talk about. Number one, as usual with this show, Tuesday Night Live show, we like to talk about the person, get to know that person a little bit better. Everyone knows Mitch as Santa Allen. If you don't, he's a tremendous Santa, been doing it for a number of years, owns the Hire Santa Group, and a fantastic agent, a man of his word. Jenny that works for him and some of the other support group folks that he has there are all fantastic to work with. But he is very well connected and intelligent when it comes to the business side. And so we always enjoy having him on. We're going to get to know who he is a little bit more than we did the last time. And then we're going to get into the business side of it, the do's and the don'ts, as Barry said, and should be a very interesting, informative, as usual program tomorrow night.
And Mitch is always a fun guest to have on. Super nice dude.
Yes, he is. Ron says got to work for them last season. Great working with them. Yes, they are. It's a topic that not everyone knows who Hire Santa is, and that was evident from a thread that was on one of the groups earlier this last week, that kind of ran through the middle of the week and into the end of the week, and so Mitch is going to clear some of the misinformation up tomorrow night about Hire Santa and Jenny, and it's so easy for that kind of thing to snowball out of control, and it's kind of what happened in that thread. And so we're glad that he's coming on. Timing is great. That way he can clear up, because, as I said, you're not going to find a better company to work for than Hire Santa if you can be lucky enough to get on with them for a season or even a single gig. They pay well. They do, they do what they say they're going to do. And I think everyone who has worked for Mitch and Hire Santa has been pleased with them. I don't know anybody that's disgruntled.
Yeah, they're good folks, and we're going to find out. He sends Santas really all over the world. We're going to find out exactly where coming up tomorrow night.
Yes, he is, and he's hoping to look to expand on that this next year and send more overseas. So that'll be interesting also. Let's talk about some of our upcoming guests.
All right. After Mitch, we got Santa Lee Pemberthy. Santa Lee's a little person. He's a super dude. I like to say he may be little in stature, but he has the heart of a giant, man. He's a great dude. Young Santa, just getting started out. And it's going to be a great interview. We got Bruce Templeton coming up after Santa Lee, Michael Howell the next week, and Santa Claus Hall of Famer Larry Jefferson coming up on March 15th. So it's going to be a great upcoming next few weeks for the Tuesday Night Live show.
That's correct. I think Bruce Templeton and Michael Howell are well known in the community, both professional Santas. Bruce Templeton has over 3 decades. He's also an author, was a keynote speaker at the ISE 2018 in Denver for IBRBS. Fantastic if you were there, speech that he gave. Michael Howell, wow. I mean, what can you say about Michael? Michael is fun, full of energy, does a professional Santa, like one of the questions that always comes up, do you use your natural voice or do you use a Santa voice? Well, he uses a combination of both. It's kind of his natural voice, but he puts so much enthusiasm into it in a Santa-like jolly way. And that makes Michael stand out. 28 years of experience with him. Larry Jefferson went into the Hall of Fame this year. Fantastic. He's always fun. Now, I have the pleasure of knowing Larry when he first came into the industry, gave him a few tips along the way. He came to our school, the Sat Bob School, took Gordon's class one year, took my class. But if you sit down and get a chance to sit down with Larry, he's another one of those that, you will stay in stitches. He is a character. Reiterate on some of the guests that's coming up past that. I know you only mentioned up through Larry. Jeff McMullen, fantastic Barnum and Bailey clown for the Ringling Brothers. Barnum and Bailey, professional Santa. Sherry Heath, she's the seamstress, owner-operator at Soul Santa. Also oversees the Gatlinburg event every other year. We got Santa D. Sinclair, another Santa of color, the Real Black Santa Entertainment Photo Company. Fantastic man, another one super nice. Cam Brattenbach coming on after that. Mrs. Cammie Claus, she's with the Rocky Mountain IBRBS group. And then a few weeks down the line, we just secured Becky Gilstrap and Ruby Wright with Cherry Hill Programs recruiting managers. And they will have a lot to add and talk about what's coming up for Cherry Hill this year. Some big changes there, all for the better from my conversations with them. And so that's going to be a fantastic show also.
Scott just mentioned Stuart Deacon Jr. What a great guest we had on last week. And if you miss our live shows, check them out on the replays. It's always some great information, and I guarantee you'll learn something from each of the guests.
Oh, yeah. Every guest we've had this year has been over the top, each a little bit different in their messaging and their backgrounds. But Stuart, I really got to say, Stuart, 27 years old. He is setting himself up to be the future of that generation for Santa Claus portrayal. also for his school. Fantastic teacher. He's got a degree, as we found out last week, in video production. He's an actor. He does a lot of stage type productions and stuff throughout the years. And if you haven't caught some of his stuff, go over to YouTube and just put his name in, Stuart Deacon Jr., and look at some of the stuff that he's done. For 27 years old, he's quite accomplished at what he's trying to do, and getting better all the time. Has a fantastic look. But that was a great interview.
Absolutely. I need to send him a message and see if his guitar arrived. I know he was
anxiously. It did. It came in the very next day. And man, it is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. You can go over to his profile page on Facebook. He's got a picture of it that he put up. So
I'll have to check that out.
Very, very nice. And I congratulated him on the arrival of it. He was really excited about that. You know, he had purchased all the instruments for the B-Tails, the cover band that he had put together. And so, you know, a lot of us are nostalgic. We like to hang on to, you know, trinkets and things throughout the years that has meant something to us. He gave up the drum set, the guitars, and everything that he had with the B-Tails, and so that he could come up with the money to buy this guitar. So it means a lot to him for sure.
Well, guys, does anybody have any questions that they'd like us to ask Mitch for tomorrow night?
Yes. Anything, the script is not completely finished yet. We can always add in, put those into the script. As many of you may know or may not know, we do script our show. Not many shows of this format are scripted. A lot of them are off the cuff. We started out that way, but we found that we are able to give you a better content, a better flow of the show if we're scripted and we're not stepping on each other for our questions. And but I got to tell you, there's a lot of questions that we ask that's not scripted. They're follow-up questions that, you know, trigger from a comment or a question or even something that the guest has said. So we're all the time adding in new questions as we go. Yes, that would really be a treat for you, Melissa. Mitch is a fantastic person to work with. Just reach out to him or Jenny, either one. Mitch is very easy to get in touch with. He loves to chat and talk with folks. And if you know pretty much in the direction you want to go or what might be available, contact Jenny and she can give you a rundown of that stuff.
I just wonder how many Super Bowl bets he lost yesterday. He tried to get me into one. I'd have won if I'd have taken it, but I just don't bet.
Well, him and Spangle both are all the time trying to you know, penny ante stuff. It's nothing major, but just throw up a bet just for fun.
Yeah, take a picture and something funny. It's like, man, that could go wrong terribly.
Yeah, it could. It really could. I just wonder how many people lost on that game yesterday in general, because I know a lot of folks was, you know, like we said, pulling for Cincinnati, and just trying to figure out how it went one way or the other. I didn't look at the Las Vegas line to see, you know, what
4.5, I think is what it was. But they won by 3, so.
So Scott Parker says he had a request for quotes today. He's super happy about that. He loves people that book early. You know, and Scott Parker, that is becoming more and more of a fact that folks have finally started getting the message that if you want a Santa, you better reach out in the first, 4 to 5 months of the season, of the year before the season, to try to secure one. These last 2 years has been especially tough because a lot of folks set out because of COVID, and then there was a lot of events that had got canceled because of COVID. But people were still wanting Santa to come into their home to do home visits and things of that nature. And it's been a real shortage of Santas the last 2 years. Something Becky and Ruby and I and Gordon Bailey talked about in some of our conversations with them. The fact that they really had trouble filling chairs last year. I know Mitch did too. I know Gina Bacon did. Just not enough Santas in the industry. We've lost so many. And in those that either have passed on or in retirement or just refused to go out and work during COVID.
Yeah, I'm already seeing, like in our Cotton State Santa group, people already posting for jobs in there. And I don't ever recall seeing any this early.
Yeah, Bruce, answer to your question from one of the things that Stuart had talked on last week during the show was that he really believes that it's a blend now. Because of COVID, 2 years ago, a lot of companies popped up that were going to do, strictly virtual, and there was a lot of promises made, a lot of deals fell through. A lot of Santas wasn't happy with that. A lot of them decided to go out on their own this last year because of that. Instead of signing with a company, just set their own deal up. And I think the virtual visits are here to stay. I don't think they're going anywhere. I think, as Stuart mentioned, why get the family dressed up and spend several hours going to the mall, standing in line. Of course, I'm a mall Santa, so I mean, we see the long lines. We see people standing there. We see the same people year after year. But then there's also those that are tired of standing in that line or don't feel like getting their children out due to COVID or whatever, that will be doing virtual visits. And I think that it's going to be a good mix, going forward. A lot of folks will do virtual. A lot of folks will do person, and a lot of folks will do both. I had people that done both the last 2 years. We see that a lot even at my mall. We have a Bass Pro Shop that's just 4 exits down the highway. And of course, I know the Santas there. Some of them have been to our school. Gordon Bailey was there last year. And it's amazing when we post pictures. One of the families that came to see me on Tuesday go and sees him on Thursday, or vice versa. So you see a lot of that too. Let's see. Ron says, I didn't get one request for a virtual visit last season. Ron, you was the guru on that. But again, the live visits were back this year, and photo sessions. I know you did a lot of photo sessions, and got to work with your old photographer in Colorado, as well as a new one that you had secured there in New Mexico. Bruce, I love the fact that my Zoom calls had relatives on the call with the children from all over the world. That is one of the pluses. You can even get 2 or 3 families together for a virtual call and have them all in a room together. A Christmas Eve where you've got, families come together, grandparents and parents and aunts and uncles and cousins. That's pretty cool to be able to do that.
Yeah, most everybody here in Alabama, they pretty much wanted in person this year. I did a few virtuals, but the vast majority were in person.
Yeah, I did a kind of an informal poll asking about Santa schools in general. Would you rather see virtual? Would you rather see in person? And it was by far overwhelming. They want in person, but if they can't get out to do an in person due to location of the school, personal funds, or whatever, then virtual is a good fallback, a second choice. But it seems everyone wants virtual. And for me, as an instructor in YouTube area, for Set Bobs, what we see is the interaction. It's not as much the curriculum is very important. We have all these textbooks with all this information in it. We can't cover it 100% during class, so we hit the good stuff, the stuff that's really important to who's in our class. If we've got a lot of beginners, then we have to start at the beginning. If we have a lot of Santas, Mrs. Clauses that have been performing for 2 or 3, 4 years, then we can kind of skip some of the simple basic stuff and go on into more of an advanced class. So we kind of cater to what we have. But that's one of the things that I hear over and over and over is it's the breaks, the lunch, the after class sitting around in the lobby of the hotel talking and sharing ideas and networking.
Yeah, and it's good to have, an outline and the structure of the syllabus you're going by and cover all that. But, what you don't get online is other Santa's inputs. And you may have a Santa Claus Hall of Famer in your class, and you may have somebody that's new. Well, the new guy may bring up something that nobody's ever even, thought about or give much thought to. You can learn from that new guy just as well as you can that Santa Claus Hall of Famer.
Well, yeah, and I have in class even leaned on some of my senior Santas that have been doing it for years and years and years, and we will teach a point, and then we'll say, well, what about you, John? What was your experience in this? And bring them into the equation and let them share with the whole class some of their experiences, and that always works out really well. Now we've got Spangle in the house. Hey, Spangle, how much money did you lose yesterday on bets? And I assume that this is Spangle said he sat with over 25,000 people, 300 dogs, 2 cats, and a parrot. Correct me if I'm wrong. At my mall, I normally see about 15,000. This year, it was around 25,000 also. Again, that was due to COVID babies. Babies from newborns all the way up to 2 years old. That has happened since COVID hit. And it seemed like 95% of every family that came through had a child that fell in that category. That is Gordon, Scott says. Okay, fantastic, Gordon. Yes, Gordon was at Bass Pro in Garland, Texas at Lake Ray Hubbard, as we mentioned earlier. And he had a busy season also.
I had a busy season, but I didn't count every one of them like y'all did.
And so also for tomorrow night's show, while I'm thinking about it, since Spangle is in the house, Spangle went out this weekend, went over to the Oklahoma City IBRBS affiliated chapter, Oklahoma Santas, and took his trailer over there, his vendor's trailer, and visited with those folks. And I believe, I haven't talked to him today, but he was supposed to get us a little report as our roving reporter and file it for tomorrow night. So we'll have him do that tomorrow night if he got that put together.
He probably sold some goodies over there too.
$20. I guess that's all he lost. Says Facebook user. Again, I don't know why Spangle's name's not coming up, but.
Well, let's go ahead and pop in our trivia question for today, Bob.
Yeah, let's do that. You ready?
Yep.
All right, Barry, throw that question out there at him. This is a hard one now.
All right. This trivia question is sponsored by santascloset.org. Santa Tom Coramilia, thank you. You'll be winning a nice little Santa key that he'll send out to you. Here's the question. Which of Santa's reindeer is named after another animal? Which of Santa's reindeer is named after another animal? See who's got a good guess. We need the name of the reindeer and the animal. That's what we're looking for.
You got 9 choices on the reindeer. It's the animal that's going to stump you.
Yep. Which reindeer is named after another animal?
And we can bring it down to 7 because we know that Donner and Blitzen are thunder and lightning. So that eliminates those 2. Rudolph, he just has a red nose.
And it's copyright protected.
Yes, it is.
Any guesses? Any of them coming in? Everybody? Bruce, that's correct. What animal?
Can you tell us what that interprets into the animal? Give him a minute. He can Google that real fast. On these trivia questions, it would help if you had voice activated Google and you could just speak it real quick. Cut down on your keyboard time.
Yeah, I just wonder how many people, when they get on Facebook now, it's going to be popping up reindeer and vixen.
Hey, Google tracks that kind of stuff too.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they do.
There you go, Bruce. Fantastic, man. You got it. All right. I hope that you received your key, your coin from Dugan last week. You get a chance for the key this week with Tom. Tell him about the key, Barry.
Yeah, that's this little Santa key that he sends out. It's got a tag on it. It's got Santa Claus on one side. It's really nice. Really nice key. He'll be getting those out to you.
That's right. We want to thank Tom at santascloset.org. Remember ORG because a lot of folks get confused on that one. And that's SANTACLAUET.org.
And Tom's sending me actually one of those keys to be able to show everybody each week what they're going to win, but I hadn't got it yet. So I don't have to.
I've got your mailing address, Bruce, so there's no need to send that to me again. And we'll get that over to Tom and get him to get that sent out to you. That's right, Scott. We have put we first said 90 days. We may back off on the 90-day portion of that. That may be a little extreme. But, yeah, if you've won either – and the Bob and Barry show is separate from the Tuesday Night Live show, even though we're all part of the same thing. But you can play on both groups. But if you win on one group, then you're excluded from winning. At this point, 90 days, me and Barry will talk about that, but we may bring that down to something less than that. That may be a little extreme. I know Scott Parker's been chomping at the bit wanting to answer some of these questions.
Yeah, last year was a Scott Parker invitational on all the trivia questions.
It really was. It really was.
Yeah, I'm very excited to have Mitch Allen with us tomorrow night. For those of you tuning in late, we got Mitch Allen with Hire Santa. He's going to be our special guest. So if you have any questions that you want us to forward to Mitch, feel free to pop them into the comments, and we'll do our best to get those answered. Or if you want to hold off tomorrow night and pop them up in the comments, we'll have time on the show that will allow you to ask Mitch direct questions.
AJ says Spangle told him 30 days. I think we can adapt that. 30 days is fine with me. Is it okay with you, Barry?
Yeah, that's fine. That's over.
I think 30 days would be more appropriate. I think 90 days, we were thinking that we was going to lock you away forever, but we won't do that. We'll just make it 30 days. Good point, AJ. So at this point also on the show, I want to mention that Santa and the Business of Being Santa Professional Technical Training School for Christmas Entertainers has 2 classes that we've already got set up. They are both a go. We do have room left in both classes. Gordon Bailey will be traveling from the North Texas area over to Ohio to do a class there. I will be doing the class alongside of Chrissy Kovic at CostumeMagic.com. She is also an instructor, and she and I are doing the Garland class together, 50-50. She'll also have her vendor corner set up, and Spangle is dragging his vendor trailer down here to Garland for that particular weekend also. Right now we're working on some stuff where we're going to try to get set up where we can do some simulcast from folks in Ohio over to Garland and vice versa. Barry is going to be doing a presentation for me, for instance, an example. Barry will be doing his flight instruction school via Zoom into my class, mine and Christy's class. And if we can get it set up, we're going to have him also Zooming live into the Ohio class. So it'll be a double whammy. And we've asked Randall Checker Lee to also do the same thing. He's going to be doing a presentation in Ohio, and we want to share that with our students in Garland, Texas. So we've just got to get the logistics on that. And if everything works out, this is going to be a first. It's already a first because no other school, clown school, magician school that we are aware of has had a class on the same weekend by the same school in 2 different portions of the country. So if true, we're kind of making a little bit of history there. And if we do these simulcasts the way we are planning on trying to do, that will just add to that to that history, because I don't think that's been done. I know we haven't done it. So anyway, the date, March 26th and 27th, is Saturday and Sunday. Our tuition is $375 for a first-time Santa. When I say first time, you have not taken the class before. If you have bought the series of books through Amazon or through Gordon, and or you have you are an alumni of the Sat Bob's class, you get a $50 discount, so that would make your tuition $325. Mrs. Claus's tuition, if you bring her along, is $125. That all comes with 1 set of 4 books. That's the business performance history books, and then the 4th book that Gordon put out last year. And did I forget anything?
I believe you covered it there, Bob.
And we've got lots of door prizes that we're putting together for both of those classes. Gordon and I, as I mentioned, had a conversation with the girls over at Cherry Hill today. They're working on some really cool stuff. Gina Bacon gives us a tuition for each class for a membership to Nationwide Santas. We have some handouts that we get from Stephen Arnold at Toys for Santa. And of course, Spangle is always there to give away door prizes and make the weekend enjoyable. Spangle will also be doing a balloon art class in Garland for us, teaching simple balloon art that you can use in your portrayal, be it home visits, be it at the mall if you have time. I know early in the season when the lines are short and you have extra time, you can always whip out a few balloons and do a few balloon art for a handful of children that may be, standing by, wanting to talk to you or stand along the rail, I might say.
What else? All I know is I'm the king daddy of popping balloons, and I've got a trophy to prove
it. Yeah, Oklahoma City, Barry was pop, and we do that. We have a little game of who pops the most, because while you're trying to twist these balloons, a lot of times, for those of you who have done it, they pop, and you have to start over. You get your pump out and you go back to town, try to get caught back up on the steps that Spangle is, instructing on. Barry won the trophy for the most pop balloons in Oklahoma City in 2021.
Yeah, balloon bending and stuff, that's not my forte.
And it's not for everyone.
Entertain in different ways.
Yeah, it's not for everyone, but it is fun. It does break up the monotony of some of the stuff that we do over and over and over in the class, and adds that flair to it. Okay, while I'm on the subject of extra things, I know we're running a little bit longer than we normally do. The Santa by Parker, since we got Scott Parker on here, want to be sure and talk about the Santa by Parker custom belt buckles. And there's pictures of it all over the Sat Bob's Live page, on my page, Scott Parker's page, and various other groups. It's still at $275. It's normally $299. We brought it down to $275 for a special for February that runs to the end of this month, February 28th. So you got a couple of weeks left on that. We are down to 9 buckles left. Once these buckles are gone, they won't be reproduced. They are a limited edition, and they do have serial numbers on them. We have 14 through 22, and number 24 still left, I believe, on those numbers. And but if you're interested in any of those numbers, like to have one of those buckles, holler at me or Spangle the Clown, and we'll get you signed up on that.
And one thing, while you mentioned, the Sat Bob's Live website, a lot of people want to post personal pictures and stuff like that in Sat Bob's Live. And when we created this, Bob and I talked that we're going to use it primarily for, learning and the videos, so people don't have to go over there and flip through 45 pictures and all these advertisements and stuff, to be able to find something they want to learn on. So that's why, if you post and Sat Bob's Live and it don't stay up there very long and it's out, there's so many other Santa groups to post stuff like that in, and especially like the Santa in the Business of Being Santa. So we try to keep Sat Bob's Live clean just for the videos, so, people can have quick access to learning.
Yeah, exactly. And when Gordon set up Santa in the Business Being Santa Facebook group, he brought me in as a co-administrator on that group immediately as soon as he started it. And that is kind of the business end of things, but you're more than welcome to post anything to do within the Santa community over there. And then we have a social site that has almost as many members that a lot of people may not know about. You may or may not. Santa's North Pole Coffee Club. And it's also a private group just for Santas, but it's more of the social side. You can go over and chat. You can post up pictures. You can talk about anything over there that you want to talk about, as long as it's within the rules. And Scott Parker says he has someone who wants number 24. So number 24 is taken. So that leaves us with the other numbers that I spoke of. So that leaves 8. We're down to eight buckles.
That'll be good. We hope we see everybody tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Time at Sat Bob's Live. And if you know someone out there that's not a member of both of our Facebook groups, hey, tell them about it. You can find us at Santa in the Business of Being Santa and Sat Bob's Live. And try to watch on Sat Bob's Live, because it's easier for the comments to flow in. If you have questions to the show, they come in smoother on Sat Bob's Live than trying to pull them in from both groups and internet lag on both.
And that's the one thing that I kind of want to address here real quick is we take the comments as they come in, as they pop up. Elp Angela looks at those comments and they're time dated. They have a time on them, and you may have 3 or 4 pop up at 3:30, at the same time on the timestamp, but it's how they fall in line on that comment scroll that makes a difference. If you're the first one to put the comment in, it's going to be at the top. Everyone else falls in underneath that. And some of the problem we've had is a little bit of lag. It's not on our end. It's just social media in general. It's the internet. You get, some people can pop right in. Some people, it may get lost in cyberspace for 30 seconds or a minute. So we're doing with the best we can there on that. We wouldn't cheat anybody. We want everyone to have fun, enjoy, play along with our trivia questions. And again, we hope to see everyone tomorrow night. If we have nothing else at this point, we're going to jump off here. We went longer than we normally do. Randall Checker Lee, thank you, sir. Worth every penny. I will be getting with you, my friend, and we will talk the logistics of what we were talking about doing the simulcast. And Scott, I'll get with you on the number 24 belt buckle. Everyone stay safe, have fun, stay healthy, as Randall says, and we will see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m., same Claus time, same Claus channel, and here for the Bob and Barry Show every Monday, 3 p.m. Central Time. Until then, thank you so much for watching. God bless everyone. We'll see you tomorrow night.
God bless you. Happy Valentine's Day. Remember, we do this. Be Claus, we care. See you tomorrow.